Dear listeners, welcome to Out of Office. What is good? What is going on, everyone listening to us through your headphones? It's your good friends, Marcos and Alan. Good evening, my fellow connoisseur of podcasts. Please say hello to the people.
I'm not going to put that much of accoutrement on my speech, so hello, this is Marcos. Hello.
Hello.
There you go.
What's going on, bro?
Not much. Throughout the week, you and I, remember, we've been doing our chit-chat. Even though it's in the squad chat, we've been doing our own chit-chat, right?
Yes, we have. Yeah, and for anyone and everyone that's listening, again, we're doing a sort of, water cooler talk, out of office type of talk. Since our good friend and beloved cousin, Josue, is doing his thing in college. So yeah, he's not going to be with us tonight. But, our prayers.
He's right here.
Is this, could it be?
Bruh.
No, it isn't. It's just him. It's just his soundboard.
Cool.
Oh, man.
Yes. It's just a soundboard. Cool. Soundboard Kun.
Oh, well, he's with us in spirit then, and in soundboard.
Yes.
Well, so we kind of sort of have Josue with us.
In spirit and digitally,
Bruh.
There you go.
But yeah,
want to go in?
Ahead. Yeah, definitely.
Let's pop off with a little bit of the chit chat that we had. Yo, let's start off with the thing with Japan that you sent me, the transcript.
Oh yeah, so I sent you the video I saw from Only in Japan.
I appreciate the transcript though.
And I sent the transcript over with because he had a link in his bio.
The notes, my God, Alan over here, the notes, man. Yes, please and thank you.
Yeah, because it's sometimes you find it easier and you have a better understanding when you get to read it.
There's no doubt. Remember the saying, a picture's worth 1,000 words? Here's 1,000 words, my guy.
Definitely.
AKA me. So yes, yo, please give us a preface to what we're starting off, Alan.
So basically, I want to say, based on what I was listening through the video, the host of the Only in Japan channel was basically conversing or telling his people through a live stream that the Prime Minister of Japan had gone to London, I believe maybe 2 days ago or last week, if I'm not mistaken, and basically kind of hinted or more than hinted, kind of like stated that Japan was quickly coming back to reopening its borders for people to go back. But he did, the host of the live stream did basically say, well, we have to take this with a grain of salt, and kind of broke it down a little bit further, saying that when the Prime Minister says opening, more than anything, he's basically hinting of more open to people like businesses, commerce, and raw materials going into the country. Right. So one of the things that he basically mentioned that was really difficult, that was not leaving or coming into Japan, were things like mail for certain countries like Australia or the US. The mail system was really watered down at this point, and other services and systems to get in or out of the country of Japan was very difficult. And he was mentioning how the Prime Minister is mentioning those type of things are going to be reopened sooner than anything else, or hopefully, right? And along the lines of, kind of hinting that not only business travel, but more like leisure travel, going back into the country, where people's commerce and economy hopefully will get better because an influx of people going to vacay in Japan is going to hopefully situate itself or get better.
You know that question when they ask in the terminal in the airport, is this a travel for business or pleasure? Best bet would hopefully say the more people can say for pleasure.
Right. And again, one of the things the host also mentioned was that one of the reasons that he suspects that that part or that aspect of traveling back into the country of Japan is gonna still be a little bit more detained or subdued is the fact that, well, even if they were to open up right now, the infrastructure isn't up to where it used to be or what it was like back in 2019.
Back in 1999, I thought you were gonna say
2019. So that's the difficulties right now that they're having. So they don't have the supply and the chain of command,
the infrastructure.
Right. The supply chain right now is really bad. So it's going to take a little bit more time for them to get the infrastructure back to where it was, for them to be able to service and give a good experience to people that are traveling to Japan for leisure, vacation, and
that
XYZ.
Japanese standard. They can't guarantee that Japanese standard.
Right. So in order for them to get to that point, they need to first open the country to businesses, raw materials, and his point was like things like mail to get in and out, and be a little bit more lax about that. Now, one of the big things he was mentioning was the fact that if you are you or a family member or a close family member are going in and out of the country, like a permanent resident or a citizen of the country, it's going to be a little easier for you to go in and out on a special permission visa that you have to fill out and that you have to send to I think the consulate, if I'm not mistaken.
Whatever rules they set. Yeah, right. It's going to be easier for you.
He did mention that it's not something that you just casually call and say, hey, what do I have to do? No, you have to proactively look for the file or the paperwork. And I think he has links in his description in his YouTube channel.
Thank you, by the way.
We'll leave the link to his video
and
on our show notes and the transcript so you can see, because it's really important to see what might transpire from this the Prime Minister of Japan's conversation and announcement when he went to London, because it's very important for not just that part of the world, but how that might also affect everyone else, because a lot of the world is opening back up and people do want to go back to vacaying over there and other parts of Southeast Asia and whatnot, right? So this is a step forward to opening back up the world, and hopefully it does help their economy, because like we were speaking in our last convo, bro, my
20%
goodness,
down,
dude, it's 130 yen to the dollar.
That's 30 now. That's 30% now. Deflation.
Well, it's basically
the opposite,
all
right?
of that. Yeah, no, it's inflation for them and
deflation. A decrease in their value versus the dollar.
Right.
It used to be 100 yen more or less. Now it's 130.
A lot of people want to go to vacate in Japan just for that fact. Right, for that fact. But
let me pump your economy.
But unfortunately,
Japan,
it's not
protocol.
open. Yeah,
it's the protocol.
Yeah, unfortunately, Japan isn't open for people to go in and vacate quite yet. Hold your horses.
They don't have the infrastructure, and they need the money to set up a better infrastructure. So it's like to get it back. That circle, that vicious circle, that they need people to come in to get money moving so that they can set things up, and they need this thing set up so that more people can come in. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty bad. So,
and one of the things the host of that live stream on the Only in Japan channel stated, he explained how, unfortunately, even if you were to go to Japan this year, once they start opening, if they start opening earlier, sooner rather than later, like say mid summer or whatnot. One of the difficulties is that he sees is that now, unfortunately, like in many other countries, local mom and pop shops have closed down. So there's a lot of
the elderly whatchamacallit, how do you say it, senior citizens, there's got to be a pretty bad situation over there with them.
No, yes, of course, but Japan being one of the older countries, as far as like the majority of people are older. No, but what he was mentioning was the fact that a lot of the mom and pop shops were like the family owned businesses.
Yeah, the corner stores, the Japanese bodega
have closed down. So that's an unfortunate thing. So maybe you went to Japan before and you really enjoyed going to a specific shop that was, owned by a local or whatnot, and a lot of those type of stores are gone.
Question, example, I don't know if the podcast listeners know, but you went to Japan 4 years ago now? 3 years?
2019.
Okay, 2019. You brought a sword. Did you buy that at a corner store, at a mom and pop shop, or at a big?
Nah. I went to the Samurai Museum in Shinjuku.
Imagine you actually brought was your business travel good? Yes, I brought a katana.
No, it was dope, bro. But like, those are the type of things that, unfortunately, a lot of the businesses.
This was part of my contract that I signed. They gave me a complimentary katana.
Yes, when in Japan, grab a katana, right? Buy a katana.
Got some ramen, a katana, and take a picture next to the Gundam.
Oh, funny enough, that same day, it was kind of like rainy. It was like drizzling that day.
It was cloudy.
With a chance of Godzilla.
Oh, of Gundam, you mean? Oh, Godzilla full on.
No, that day, because it was all pretty close in that vicinity.
It looked huge.
It's quite big, because I kind of compare it to like boroughs of New York City. So you have like over here on the East Coast of the US, right? You have in New York City, you have
New York.
Right. You have Manhattan, you have Queens, you have Brooklyn, you have Bronx, and
Yonkers? No.
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 You have Long Island, Staten Island, like you have the boroughs, right? So you have all these boroughs, and in Japan it's not quite like that, but it's similar in the sense of like, they're basically, I guess you can call them like boroughs. That's how I compare it, because you have Shinjuku, you have Shibuya, you have Ginza.
They sound far in my head. I have no idea, but you put the boroughs in my head and I get an idea now.
So if you take the subway system over there, or like their metro system, it's pretty easy to navigate around to get from point A to point B, right? A lot of the places are not that far away from each other using mass transit, so you can probably take the bus or take the train and it'll get you there. I would say like the farthest my brother and I traveled from one place to another, so I want to say like maybe 10-15 minutes, maybe
That's
longer.
And those are bullet trains.
Well, no. The Shinkansen is specifically for one of those like longer travels. Like in Tokyo, it's a little closer. That's why I compare it to like the boroughs in New York, because even in the island of Manhattan, right? If you try to go from like the Lower East Side to Midtown, it's what is it, like 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes, like depending on how far or how deep you want to go to.
Let's say you start in Grand Central and you want to go to the Statue of Liberty, basically.
Yeah, you'll take like a good maybe 10-15 minutes taking mass transit. Sorry, words are hard today.
It was man-made, it was okay. So
it does take time. You pick and choose what you want to use to get there, but with what I consider the boroughs in Japan, right? So like, say if I want to go to from Shinjuku to Shibuya, the whole start to finish took maybe 10-15 minutes at most. Nothing too crazy, like, and then getting off using your IC card, your Suica card, right? So putting money into that and using it as your Metro card. Going to like Akiba, getting off at the station, or going to Odaiba, which is more of an island, where you go see the Gundam statue that you're talking about.
It's like our Statue of Liberty, if you will.
Basically, which funny enough, in Odaiba around there's an actual Statue of Liberty that they have, and it's pretty funny because I'm like, wait, what?
Liberty-kun? No.
Yeah, right. Exactly, because I don't know if...
No, I don't know what it would be.
Well, over in Las Vegas, they have one of those like mock Statue of Liberty Eiffel Tower, right? And then they have something similar over in Japan in Odaiba. Close by Diver City, one of these like
Diver City. This is a video game city. This is like a video game map you just said.
No, but it's dope because like inside is the Gundam base and stuff like that. There's an arcade. Welcome. It's basically a mall.
Oh,
and it has like I want to say like 4 levels where it's like full of a lot of trendy shops, food, restaurants inside, and all the way at the top of the mall is the Gundam base.
Okay, yes.
And then outside, floor level, obviously, is the big Gundam statue. And but back to where I got the sword. Going back
to your weapon. I mean, what?
Yes. So that day was kind of drizzling, and it's Shinjuku, right? And it's close by Golden Guy, and it's close by. Well, it's like the red light district.
Okay. No, enough said. Yes.
Right.
Continue.
So around the area, there's the robot restaurant. There's the what's it called? The movie theater.
Is it the robot restaurant or the robot restaurant?
The first one.
Oh, okay.
Missed opportunity. Well, there's a splash of like
a splash, you say?
Yes, a splash of entertainment within, and more so all around. You have like sketchy characters, kind of like trying to talk to you.
Yes.
Yeah, trying to talk to you. Like, hey, you want to go?
Like the cosplayers in Manhattan, like the Hulk or Iron Man.
No. More like how can I put it? Like semi well dressed people, like host
they're
club.
Way better. They're way better.
Like,
yeah.
Host club looking guys. They're trying to offer you. Trying to offer you to go to get special services if you catch my drift. To
imagine you're standing there with your katana and the guy rolls up to you. Hey, got a late? Oh, what?
Nah, nothing like that, bro. But you'll see these people standing around, trying to convince people to go see the secret shows. Yeah. So there's that. There's literally there's like a street that divides like a block or so of nothing but male host clubs and female host clubs. So it's really.
Are they like rivals? Like when they're
no. More like this street is where girls go, and this street is where
boys
guys go.
And girls club.
Right.
Boys only, girls only.
For the most part, where you get to spend your hard-earned cash on entertainment.
Emphasis on hard, you say, no?
Yes. And, quality time, if you want to call it that.
Culture time.
Yes. And then what's funny is that on the opposite side of that, like I want to say like 2 or 3 blocks over, it's like, I want to say like a couple of arcades, the movie theater, some restaurants.
You know where they go off to blow us steam each other. They got the manager of the arcade goes to that place, and the guys that work and the guys and girls that work at those host clubs go play video games.
Bro, I don't know what people were doing. I just know that I went, I saw, and I conquered. That's all I did, bro.
Yes. And there were pictures.
And there's pictures. There's pictures with me and Godzilla at the movie theater, just doing our thing.
Yeah.
A couple of restaurants.
Maybe you a silhouette of you, a shadow of you holding your katana.
No, more like in the
or social media. Like your silhouette,
at the arcade.
You holding your katana silhouette, not you exactly. Your shadow or something like your gleaming katana on the light.
Nah, bro.
Memories from Japan.
More like going to the arcade and getting demolished, right?
Oh, dang.
Just putting money into the machines, trying to play these gacha games, these crane games.
They're called gacha for a reason.
Yeah, man, they got me all right.
Oh, talking about putting in money.
Yes.
Let me try to slide in right here with this other bit of information that I shared with
definitely.
you.
Go ahead.
As of this week, I shared on the notes, and that as of this week as of the recording on May 6th of this of the good year of the Lord 2022.
Yes,
the
sir.
U.S. has the citizens, the Americans have spent and moved money, spent and sold just as much money as they have sold the entire fiscal year of 2019. Even though they're still in the red considering with inflation, this is knowing that the US population that is working right now, moving the money, is only at 63%.
Bro. Tough times.
No, but just as this gives me, I'm trying to see it from the cup half full. I'm trying to be positive here, in the sense that at 63%, they're already moving as much sales and revenue, all those things, as they did an entire fiscal year of 2019 pre-pandemic. And they also noticed that there was over 120 increase on e-commerce, specifically on the e-commerce sector. So, a majority, if not a majority of the sales that have been moving around have been assisted or eased with the use of the digital interface of e-commerce, if you will. So, hopefully, if my head's working right here, there's going to be more services that can, work on, take advantage of e-commerce, like bodegas. Bodegas have been doing collaborations with, or little pizza shops have been doing collaborations with DoorDash, with Slice. You know what I mean? Like, these bodegas have been able, or little mom and pop shops, hopefully, not a lot of them, obviously, a lot of them closed, but hopefully more bodegas can come back and be able to take advantage of the internet, if you will, more. That's what I'm trying to say. That's on my head. I'm trying to be positive, but at the same time, I want to hear your opinion.
So, like, do you mean specifically in the U.S. or like outside the U.S.?
As of this fiscal quarter that we're in for the U.S., only U.S. Americans in the U.S.
So the first quarter of this year?
Yes.
First 3 months?
Yes, they've made revenue and all those things as much as an entire fiscal year of 2019, which could be a good thing and also a bad thing. I don't know how to I'm trying to be positive. I want to hear your opinion.
Uncertainty. That's what I would say.
Still too soon to draw a conclusion.
Yeah, like what you can probably gather from what we've seen this first quarter of the year is basically uncertainty, right? So people are selling a bunch of stuff just because they don't know.
The stock market, yeah.
Right. So right now, a lot of people are basically saying the housing market bubble has popped again, and it's worse than 2008. So
in the
that
US
might
only,
in
right?
the US, the US, but. I mean, there's great videos out by people like Graham Stephan or Andre Jick. I would highly recommend you guys go check them out. And they kind of break down what that means, not only for like, I guess, people that are into that, but even the common person that just lives, day by day, doing their thing at work and not really paying attention to that.
Rising and grinding.
Right. So, I mean, it does affect everyone in some way, shape, or form. For the people that want to buy a home or sell a home, and for people that are basically trying to set up camp or shop in one state or another, or a city that you want to live in. It's going to get a little tougher because a lot of people, to your point, spent a lot of money And a lot of people paid off their debt during the pandemic with all the money, the helicopter money that the government was giving. But as much as people paid off their debt, they were quick to spend all the money again and max out people's credit cards. So it's kind of like this weird place people are in, because now a lot of people don't want to go back to the regular jobs that they were in. A lot of people want to do remote working, and a lot of companies are pushing back. So
yeah,
a lot of these things are affecting and taking their toll on people and companies and businesses. And this first quarter of the year, we saw just the whole market. Like a couple of weeks ago, we were listening to it, right? Or we were talking about in our last podcast, how the market just got demolished, bro. Like
it went up, no, it went down, went up, and then stayed stable again. I'm like, is this normal?
Well, it is normal in the sense of like,
but like 1,000 points or something like that.
Well, corrections are corrections for that very reason.
Okay.
So we don't know where, like, basically one of the indicators of a recession is 2 quarters of the year being in the red, and then that means we're in a bear market. And we don't quite know when the bottom is, and a lot of people kind of have to guesstimate when they want to go back and start buying companies to make money or get dividends or XYZ, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people start selling it, which kind of throws the stock market into, pandemonium, because everything goes up, goes down, and there'll be days that are going up, some days that will go down.
But drastically though.
Oh, of course.
Hours, in 24 hours in the morning.
Yeah.
It closed low. And then while it was going in the morning, I forgot what day it was, Tuesday, I think. It closed as a market low. That same day, the president gave an announcement. It went high, like it went to zero, and then it was down 1,000 points. And the president before the president gave his speech, like around 10 in the morning, it went to zero. The president was giving his speech. It went up 1,000. And then whatever happened at the end of the closing of the market, it went down a little bit below zero, not like 1,000 points, just like a little bit, and it stayed stable. I'm like, that is so. Does that always happen when there's like a big announcement, like from Tesla, Apple, Google, and like Samsung, and is just the president that much of a clout? Like the president has that much clout to influence the stock market.
More than anything else is the fact that he has to work with the Fed, right? He's basically
got the closest information.
He's either dictating or he is being told what is the sensible thing to do.
His cabinet,
yeah. So more, it's the federal bank, right? The Federal Reserve. So, so the chair of the Fed right now, the bank, my goodness.
The IC,
No. The head or the chair of the
Federal Reserve?
The Federal Reserve, which is Powell.
Oh, the son, right? Of the general?
No. That's what they call him because he's the one that prints the money.
Yeah, but wasn't his dad like the general that recently died as well?
Jerome Powell? No, I wouldn't know his lineage. No, but I know Jerome Powell is the chair or the head of the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
And he's the one that basically is telling us if they're going to increase rates or lower rates. But that also has to do with whatever information the president and his administration basically have on their agenda. Now, a lot of people would say, well, that's crazy. Why would the president have anything to do with the Federal Reserve? Because it should be that the Federal Reserve works by itself. It should be something separate from whatever.
The general's name is Colin Powell.
Yeah, there you go. That's not who we're talking about. We're talking about Jerome Powell. So basically, the Democrats or the Republicans don't have any say about how monetary systems should work. But unfortunately, that we start seeing a lot of overreach on what things happen or what rules and regulations get done at the federal bank, right?
Yes.
So this is the reason why we'll have that influx of good news, bad news, kind of pushing or dropping the stock market. Now, that not only affects us on a local level, but it affects everyone globally because everybody spends and borrows in dollars. And I think the hardest part right now to try to get a grasp on is how is that going to affect us down the road,
just to the next quarter,
the next 3 months. So right now it's fluctuating crazy, but we'll see these next 3 months. A lot of the companies that are hurting a lot, that got beat up really bad, are basically the apples of the world. Not the apples of the world, more like how can I call these? The ones that are pushing innovation, the Cathy Wood type of stocks. So this is stocks that are like the bleeding edge of technology. So things like Teladoc or CrowdStrike or what else? Netflix, things like that. These are the companies that are getting beat up the most. These technology companies that basically were safe havens and money makers for a lot of people during the pandemic, the Zooms of the world. But now, since monetary policy is tightening right now, where we're going up, or they're tightening up to like I believe 0.5% to 1%, if not 2%. So what that means is that a lot of people get scared. What do they do when they get scared? They sell what they want to sell, or
they cash in, if you will.
Right, and then they try to be cash heavy so that if they see an opportunity up ahead,
liquid, if you will.
Right, they'll be able to buy stuff on the cheap if that's even possible. In effect, what we're starting to see now is that the housing bubble, or what people are calling the housing bubble, is popping, and a lot of people are saying, "Well, I can't even sell my house for a price that I want. I have to sell it at a much lower rate because not a lot of people are going to be able to get loans to."
And then the interest rate went up for that.
Right. So it's not a. It's more of a. It's not a seller's market. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the things that we're seeing right now, and that affects globally because then. Well, when monetary policy tightens in that way, a lot of people are like, what can I do? What should I do? How do I go about it? People not wanting to go back to their regular 9-to-5s or their regular jobs. And
they're there. It's not like they're not going.
Right. But, and the thing is, like, a lot of people might say, well, the thing is that why would I go back to a place that is only paying me X amount of money? I should be getting paid more. So there's that dilemma as well, and also the dilemma of people migrating to other states that are much friendlier tax wise,
leaving
right?
The big cities, yeah.
Right, going to like a Florida,
Pennsylvania,
going to Texas, going
Texas,
to
even Texas a little bit. It's going in
Tennessee,
in whatchamacallit, the Midwest,
going to places like Las Vegas,
Oklahoma. No.
No, there's very few states that you can say, well, they're a lot friendlier or with taxes where they don't charge you at the wazoo with the taxes, right? Obviously federal tax you have to pay, but more of a state tax, they're a lot kinder.
Yep.
So those are the things that are happening right now.
Until they aren't.
Well, that I want to say you're right, but I don't know how that might.
It might be shooting my breeze. Take it with a grain of salt. Basically, my end.
Right, because like because we don't live there, we don't know how that monetary or that those type of policies where whoever's in charge isn't gonna hit people with state tax. That should be more than enough initiative to have people go and migrate to that state. And if you can work remotely, then essentially you're keeping more of the money that you make. which a lot of people like.
Yeah, I don't want to promote this, but it's an experience that I'm observing first person, listening via podcast. There's this guy. Shout out to Radio Ronin, this podcast group. The way that they keep themselves afloat is that while recording the podcast, they also work the 9 to 5. They first started at some of them working at a Walmart back in the day before the pandemic, or a Home Depot. And they would work their 9 to 5, be a cash register, be working in the wood shop, and like literally they knew each other working from the radio, and then they went their own ways after the 2000s. And the son and the father became DJs, toured around the world, got tired of that, and went to become work at your local Home Depot. Okay, let's do that, they said. And they were working there, and they found more people that they knew from the radio, like, hey, what's up? And they started their own thing. And then they started their podcast while still working the 9 to 5. And then from there, the father, the leader, or his radio name, he kept his radio name, his radio Chunga. Chunga kept working his skills that he gained in the radio industry for working for like 20 years in the radio industry. He got a job in the consulting business of whatchamacallit, when you have paper that you did like a writer, like a ghostwriter for politicians, all those things in Seattle. He worked in Seattle over there as a consultant, because that's what he used to do. They would give him a lot of paper, like to read ads, all those things. He would work with contractors regarding, okay, what's the ad? Word by word, what do you want me to say? Should I say this? The numbers, that kind of like experience that he has. So he did that for a couple of years and got contracted to a tech company. This before the pandemic. And then his son worked with him for a while in a different department on the technical side, on the computer IT. And his son said, I don't want to work in this tech company anymore. I want to become a contractor as a film developer. But while still working, he saved money and did his studies, online degrees, different online things to understand the camera work, the hardware. He bought his own hardware and became his own contractor and did his own film work, his portfolio. Right. And from there, he got contracted from another film crew that he got contracted and went around the country. This is still 2016, 2017, and all those things. Went to the Midwest to record some projects, went to Seattle, Salt Lake City, and then went to California. All those things, went to do different things. Went to do the people that are very fit, not the triathlons, whatchamacallit, the other ones, the CrossFit games. His company got contracted, and he was one of the photographers on the ground recording the guys, all those things. And his company got picked up into doing some documentaries, and he became a lead on that, a director on that. And his team won an award, and he went to LA to receive awards, all those things, as him being part of the directing crew. I'm like, okay, he's good, right? He's doing his own thing. He left that company because he got hired by his dad to become part of the podcast group that he's running, right? But this is taking years, since like 2015, 2014, doing all this. So you can literally listen to their progress that they've been doing, and they tell you their skills, all those things. And right now, the son is working as a video editor, a podcast production, audio producer, all those things for his company, the Radio Ronin network. And the father is still working as a tech consultant, which he works remotely. He technically got hired while living in Seattle, in Washington State, and his company is in California, in Silicon Valley. Okay. And he's like, hey, I'm still working digitally. He even has an office over there. Do I need to go there? No, you don't. Okay. He, instead of going to LA to live, he went to Vegas to live. And he moved to Vegas like last year. And he's been living there. And as of this month, he's going to make a year that he moved in. And 2 weeks ago, or a month ago, he went to the office building where he got hired at. Not, it was alongside a university. The university was running, but the office building was a ghost town. He said, this huge place,
right?
Nothing connecting the university to his tech firm was a parking lot, right? And like literally, you can see the divide of where because there were assigned parking spots for each member, and he had a parking slot, but he was never been there. When he went through security, he showed his ID card and his credentials. I don't know you, sir. He went and checked through the system. You have a spot. It's this number. Go find it. Okay. He drove and all those things. It was weird. He said it looked like a zombie, like a zombie apocalypse movie inside the building.
No way.
It was like papers were dropped. All those, like, people were like coming in on Monday, and they left on Friday, and they were coming on Monday, but the building never opened. He saw empty cups of coffee with the coffee already evaporated because it's been over a year. And he saw papers. He saw refrigerators. Like, the only people coming in was a cleaning crew.
Really?
And they just kept the refrigerator food, like, they cleaned it out completely. He saw they were like in a Costco or Sam's Club. Right. You know those aisles where the refrigerators were? That kind of tech firm had those kinds of refrigerator areas for cold food, for just the food section of their building. He went to like 4 floors, and when he got greeted on the 4th floor with security, he said, sorry sir, you can't go beyond here. Why? Building's closed. We've been cutting down on the electrical outlet only to the essential areas. So the refrigerator, the foods, because people, like the cleaning crew, leave their food there, and they have people cleaning the area as best as they can. They don't touch the tech notes because it's Silicon Valley. The paper notes gathering dust. Why not dust that? That's important stuff. We were told not to touch anything of those, the cubicles or anything like that. Just make sure the floor doesn't build up dust or anything. Even though the countertop is dusty, those things.
Right.
And he walked by computers. The computers were running. They were being controlled off-site by the people that were working there.
That's crazy.
He just saw like in the cubicles, computers turned on, but no one there.
Oh, that's crazy.
And that's his first-hand experience going to his. He went to his office. He had a key. He got a key card that first day for his office. He went to his office. Nothing there because he never been there. He's like, damn. He was gonna see the person that hired him, but the person that hired him didn't show up. He showed up like at least 2 hours or 3 hours later, and it was like more or less his boss. And he's like, and he knew him for a year already, but this is the first time he met him in person. And this guy Chunga is like 6'5", right? 6'5", 6'4". So he's not a small guy, but you can't tell that when you're on Zoom. And the other guy was like what, 5'10", 5'11", and they turned around a corner each other. He's like, oh Jesus! Like they looked at each other. The big guy flinched, and the other guy, because I was like, what happened? Where have you been? Like, hey, what's up? And they started socializing, and he's like, yeah, he observed immediately he knew that it was a young guy that was his boss, but it was like that experience of you running, like going in the classroom, going to class, and you almost bump into a classmate or something like that, but you are the only 2 people walking in, going to, like, I don't know how he described it. I want to recommend it. Shout out to those guys if you want to ever listen to it, Alan.
Right.
I'll probably stream it to you. You can probably listen to me later at a later time while we're chilling online if you want to. Okay.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Thank you.
That's like the things that I just can't get my head over. I feel lucky that I've been able to work at the coffee shop, that I haven't lost those skills. You know what I mean? Those skills.
Oh, absolutely, bro.
Are they skills or that touch, if you will?
Well, you know how when you go for a regular job, right? You have soft skills and hard skills you would have to learn, and some of these tips and tricks of the trade you pick up while you're actually working. There's only certain things you can actually, or there's only so much you can actually pick up from a book.
Or a Zoom conference.
Right. There's a lot of things that you're going to be able to do with a lot more efficiency when you're actually, out and about and, in the grind. That's one of the arguments on both sides.
On both, yeah.
Yeah, so the only thing I could see right now from where I live and my surroundings is that it looks a lot more like maybe not 100% back to where it was, but I want to say it's like a good maybe 80, 85 to 90% back to how things used to be. You'll still have people wearing masks because they
want to.
Yeah, they feel like it's a necessity or something they should be doing. Other people might be doing it just to virtue signal. So, I mean,
it is what it is.
Yeah, I could care less. Do you? That's the great thing about this country where you
do
know,
you, boo.
Right, to a certain extent, you still have a lot of liberties to do what you think is best for you and your loved ones, and you know that's as much as you can do right now. What I do see is also with that, yeah, it's a lot more difficult, especially with people that are like middle school or high school, where they're going through that awkward stage in their life where they're just getting to understand who they are, like making friends and
those social skills and cues.
Right, and being socially awkward sometimes because they don't know where they fit in or how to interact. The
anime part of the schools thing.
Right, they don't know how to interact sometimes with others, whether it be male or female. Again, it's just one of those things that in order for them to understand, grow, and get those social cues like you were saying, they have to interact with people. That's a given. And what's not helping is them socially distancing, not being able to interact with other people. You know, that does, you know, cap them at the knees, so to say. But I mean, hopefully, and again, hopefully, we start seeing you know, a lot more liberty with people interacting with each other in school, extracurriculars and stuff like that, where they're able to be able to, you know, to have an actual social life. Go, like I would hope that
healthy social life.
Right. People go back out to the movie theaters, go to the mall, go kick the ball.
Movie theaters, you say?
Oh, well, that's the thing. Speaking of movie theaters, have you seen the new Doctor Strange movie?
Oh, I like what I'm hearing. Well, no, but I've been hearing a lot of things because my young brother over here,
right,
has, you know, drooling like, oh my god.
Oh, with the new one?
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of, like, you know, by secondhand. But it's been sounding good, man.
Yeah, it's been difficult. I haven't watched it.
Me neither, so I can't spoil anything.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but spoiling is crazy right now. It's like there's the amount of videos people are posting on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Right, critiquing and kind of like sharing the Easter eggs and stuff like that from a lot of these from the movie and just speculation and headcanon of what goes where and piecing the puzzle together with the bits of information and fragments of information they're getting from the movie. It's really interesting, but you know, once I see it, hopefully by next week, I want to say maybe like a Monday or Wednesday, I might want to go see it. I'll definitely.
Does it still apply the rule that Monday or Tuesday is like the less populated time?
Well, I don't know.
Pre-COVID still time.
Well, the thing is that I want to go to the one we always go to at the Alamo, but this whole weekend it's booked, bro. Like,
that's a good thing for them, but not for us. But not for us.
Yeah. No, and even if I wanted to go this weekend, like I have things that I'm scheduled to do. Obviously, Mother's Day weekend is this weekend.
Massage. So. I know.
And I don't know, like, speaking upon that, like, do you have any ideas of what you're gonna get your mom, bro, or not? Or are you gonna make something, you know, homemade, or are you gonna buy something, or is everyone gonna pitch in for your mom to get her something nice?
I think we're gonna do something for tomorrow. We're gonna cook her something.
Dope, bro. That's what's up.
We're thinking of there's a recipe that a guy at work, he works at he's an IT guy, and we like to talk about food, and he recommended I don't know, since Thanksgiving we like to talk about different foods, and he recommended me one time, an oven roasted chicken, and let the juices, whatever the juices you put on it, whatever your recipe may be, put some baguette sliced bread or wedges in the bottom, and let the juices flow down, and let that cook on top of that, and let the juices flow down, and have a healthy amount, like wax paper. Instead of the wax paper, it's the bread. Instead of the wax paper, it's the bread, and cook it for whatever amount. After you did some pre-cooking, let the final part, the juices just flowed straight down to that bread. And he would say I would recommend that, accompany that with whatever you want, veggies, rice. He said it's going to be the grease of the chicken, or mainly the chicken. He also recommended it sometimes with turkey, and probably use that as filling. But this is for the chicken option. And maybe we're thinking of doing that with some steamed what you call it when you steam a vegetable and then put it on super cold water?
Oh, you blanch it.
Okay, yeah. And that my Misa was my youngest brother was watching the worst kind of cooks, and he was watching the recipe, and he recommended that idea, let's steam some vegetables, let's cook it, and then put it I don't know what it's called until you told me, and he also said the name, and let's put some broccoli, carrots, the white broccoli, cauliflower. Okay, cauliflower, and all those things, and put it nice and beautiful, and some peppers, some different kinds of peppers, and maybe some rice. By the way, my dad and I were practicing some rice. I was taking the lead. I messed up the rice.
It's okay, bro.
I added too little water and undercooked it. But I'm practicing. I wanna be a good understanding, at least capable of cooking something.
No, yeah, definitely, bro. I mean, nowadays it's a lot easier because you do have things with rice cookers where the measurements are already there, on in the actual container where you cook the rice, or it's sometimes the rice cooker, right? Yeah. Or the rice cooker has an actual measuring cup that comes along with it, where you can measure out both the rice and the water, and it has presets on right on front of the rice cooker with the buttons where you just hit, white rice or brown rice or whatever rice, jasmine rice or whatnot, and it tells you how much water should go into the rice cooker for you to have really good quality or well cooked rice. So if you're gonna do on a stovetop, obviously it's a little different. The rice is still gonna come out delicious. It's just that you have to be a little bit more wary of the water, but also the actual temperature, or the amount of heat that you're giving, that you're turning on the valve on, right?
I probably put too little water. I mean, too little heat, because I remember I think it's a 2-to-1, right, ratio. One cup, one bowl of rice is 2 of water.
Well, it depends. It depends on the rice, because if you're doing regular white rice, obviously it's gonna take around, like you said, maybe
a 2-to-1 ratio, or 1-to-2,
somewhere around that range. But if you're gonna have brown rice, it requires a little bit more water. If you're doing jasmine rice, it doesn't take that much water. If you're doing something like wild rice or something like that, also it requires a little bit more water than you're usually putting in with the regular.
Even more than brown?
Rice. Yeah, it's roughly around the same, because you have different grains mixed into the wild rice. Where the brown rice takes a little longer, you need more water. The jasmine rice is a longer grain rice, so it might require a different amount of water as well. But usually the packaging tells you the amount of water. Obviously, you wash your rice. If you're doing short grain, or a Japanese sushi rice, it also requires a different amount of water. And obviously more water. Usually your rice tends to get a little more sticky if you're gonna put it on. Depending on how high the heat you're gonna add to it, right? If you put too much heat, not enough water, you're gonna scorch the bottom and undercook your rice.
For me, it was the other one. It wasn't cooked enough, and I put.
You undercooked it, right?
Yeah. I was like, dang it! I still ate it though. I still ate it because that's the thing that I try to tell my baby brother, Misa, is that whatever you make, you put in the grind. You best eat it and learn from it.
Absolutely. Yeah, you live and you learn.
Mm-hmm. And I find that like listening to podcast, I probably shouldn't have been listening to podcasts. I just outed myself. But yeah, it's not. I'm not saying it's not relaxing, but it's fun because it's a new thing that I'm trying. And of course, I take my time and all those things. But the chicken, I'm gonna let that my dad to do that.
Yeah, I mean, again, bro, there's a lot of things that you can like. I like using the oven a lot because not that it's just like simpler, but you kind of like have that idea of, okay, I have whatever you're gonna use, right? If you're gonna do vegetables or you're gonna do protein.
Wait, vegetables in the oven?
Yeah, like roasted vegetables. Yeah, you can definitely roast veggies in there. You can broil something if you need to broil, or if you want to if your oven has a convection feature on it, you can turn it on and use the convection feature to bake. If you are going to make like a baked good or something like that, like a flan or something like that.
Ooh, talk to me more. Instead of saying talk to me dirty, talk to me food.
Oh, yes. So those are like, if you're going to bake, if you're going to make like garlic bread, you can definitely use the oven. Probably be the best way. Or the easier way, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Where if you grill it, you get that nice char on it, but you might not have enough.
I'm not brave enough. I'm not brave enough for that.
Well, again, it really depends what type of meal you're trying to have. Maybe you're doing something Italian, like Mediterranean, or something like that. Or if you're going to do something, I don't know, if you're going to go like Mexican or even Indian food or something like that. Like certain dishes require certain types of cooking techniques and different type of heat.
I'm gonna make videos, Alan, about you doing different dishes. Today I'm gonna make blank food.
Yes, I'll make a nice potato salad.
What's the macaroni salad?
Yes, let's make a macaroni and cheese.
Yo, you say this kiddingly, but you just talk to me smoothly like that, and I'll best bet I'll be watching those videos like going to sleep.
No, and again, I think everyone should try their hand at cooking at some point.
It ain't easy.
Not just because
it's intimidating.
Of course, but the thing is, like, you benefit ultimately at the end because you are able to produce something that you can share with not only yourself but with everyone that you want to share with. And there might be a dish that you're really good at, and it could be one of those like ace in the sleeve type of things that you can just whip out whenever you really need it, not only to impress people but to actually benefit and eat yourself.
Sunny side up eggs. There you go. That's my secret dish.
And you know what's great about doing just as simple as sunny side eggs? Yeah. You can put that on toast, or you can make
rice.
Yeah, rice, or you can use it as part of your bacon, egg, and cheese if you want.
You just
something
gave me
like
an idea. Eggs and rice. You can't mess it up.
Or if you want to go the Latino route, right? You can make some beans, some eggs, queso fresco, right?
Nutritional wise, beans. Yay or nay?
I like them. I like these legumes.
Legumes? Okay. Oh, just a heads up. This is not all facts. This is just our talk that we're not, health professionals, by the way, dear listener.
Nor are we, economics professors
we're not
here.
Experts on anything.
Yeah, I mean,
this is not the financial podcast. Yeah.
Right. This is not financial advice, nor is this hearsay on of cooking. No, we're just sharing with you guys what we do and what we think.
Yeah, hopefully in the future we can work on projects of just, making pancakes, making pancakes, or some eggs, with rice, the food stuff, I
do like that.
I want to learn from the sensei. I mean, from Alan.
Bro, what little I know, bro, I'm more than happy to share with anybody's.
Yeah. Oh, want to know something else that's being made in-house?
Whoa, it's being made.
Mexico's making electric cars in-house now.
Oh, I saw the article or the video, rather,
and
that you
it's in their
sent
home
me.
state.
Yes. But again, this is something that I obviously would think that it would be a good move, just because they've had industries in the state beforehand, which was Volkswagen.
She was an engineer from their team from over there.
Right, so it only makes sense. Like they have,
I think. Hold up, let me check.
They have some sort of inkling of how what's it called, an assembly line is, and parts and stuff like that. All they really need to do is develop and I guess nurture
engineers. the workforce.
Exactly, and the engineers that are developing the technology for these EVs. That is gonna be awesome if they're able to.
It's a lady.
Well, again, I don't care if it's a guy or a girl. I care that they're actually doing something. Like, instead of bumming it or not doing anything about it, I could care less if it's a guy or a girl. I just hope that they get that off the ground and they're playing clean. Like none of these other companies that didn't pay taxes. Like I hope that obviously that they're doing things on the up and up. On the books. Because like unfortunately over there, it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. It matters that you're doing things by the book, because we've seen unfortunately that over there it doesn't matter if you're a female or a male. You can be the thief that's stealing everyone's lunch.
Thieving doesn't discriminate.
Absolutely not, and that's why I could care less if the head honcho there is a female. Like, great, but let the numbers speak,
not your
let the work speak for itself. Do your thing and do it right. Like, if you're a girl, great. If you're a guy, great. Just get it done. Because what I want to see is innovation and industries grow.
And it supports the country.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I want to see.
Rise up.
Yeah, because look, if people start using that type of technology and start using that type of that industry to replicate in other states, that would be awesome.
And other product services, yeah.
Of course, because then you get to the point where you get to actually put something to good use for not only whoever is running the business, but the country as a whole, right? And then you get to compete globally with people like Tesla. If you get your information right, you actually get to put a product out that competes with them, and that's great for business. And there's going to be overlap, obviously, but who gets to benefit or who wins at the end? The consumer, the customer, the client, the guest. That's the person that actually wins, because then you get to use great products that are ever that they're ever refining and making better for everyone. So that's what I think, and I hope that that's a running theme, not only for that particular company of EV, but like any company that's trying their hand at these new innovative products. Other than that, I mean, what was another thing that they were showing or doing?
Oh, they were doing everything in-house, assembling everything. They were simple cars, but just because they're the certain level, these basic designs. I'm reading according to the video, but more research. Let me read you. I'll send you the link. Hold up, let me show you the link so that we can read along. Let me sending the QR code now. Okay, come to me. Reveal your secrets. I cast this spell. And sending.
Okay.
Let me know if you got it. Okay, did you get it?
Not yet.
Okay.
Was this the email or was this?
No. Just through the squad chat.
Okay.
It's an article.
Was it about the Pixel? The Stardust?
No. It's a new one that I sent as of right now.
Oh, I see. Okay, I got it.
Mitalia, the Mexican electric car that wants to disrupt the market.
Yes. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start reading from Puebla, Mexico. Mexico might soon have its own electric car, made entirely with Mexican talent and components. And behind it is a Mexican entrepreneur who wants to put Mexico on the world map of
designing vehicles. Mm-hmm.
His dream is to build the first 100% Mexican car, and if his plans work, we'll see the vehicles on the streets next year. There's hope that it'll start the new auto industry in Mexico. There's something in the bloodline. Can you read the bloodline part?
A bloodline full of speed is the title right here.
Yeah.
It says it's pouring in Puebla, Mexico, the capital city of the state with the same name. But rain won't stop Polo Ortiz, who supervises the construction of a car prototype in a small workshop. This is a quote by I think Polo Ortiz.
Building. Yep.
It says, "This is in our genes. It's like a century-old tradition," Paulo said. "Cars run through the veins of his family. Like his father, he used to race cars. And now his son, Leopoldo, is taking the tradition to the next level and by building them." This is another quote. It says, "We are proudly 100% Mexican," Polo said. He is a consultant for his son's companies LM and TH, which plans to bring to life light, compact electric cars to be sold by late 2020. All right, so hopefully he's projecting by the end of this year, or by the end of 2 years ago.
So yeah, that something happened, unfortunately.
Right, so it says, "Unfortunately, the Mexican governments are always looking towards the wrong direction," Polo said. He said the current government is unfortunately focused on opening refineries instead of supporting environmentally friendly technologies, and his son shares some of his concerns but also has faith, or also his faith. The car of the near future. Leopoldo Ortiz is CEO and founder of LM and TH. He decided to pass on the family passion to his daughter by naming the new car after her, Dalia. Lucky name for our car. That's a quote from Leopoldo said. This is another quote. "This is the first car in the history of Mexico that we made, from the design, from the first sketches to the production of the prototypes. Dalia's birthplace, Puebla, is one of Mexico's oldest bastions of the automotive industry, with companies like Volkswagen and Audi, but its significance decreased as newer plants opened in other states like Guanajuato.
Yeah.
But Leopoldo said Puebla is the only state where the industry can work on design and manufacturing rather than just in production lines." You wanted me to keep reading?
No. We can share this in the notes later to anyone.
Okay. Yeah, so if people are interested, you can definitely check out the show notes.
Or the video.
Well, right. And what I can gather from this is that obviously, there are going to be these, I guess you can say these conflict of interest, whether this is going to take off or not, being that, and I think this was a conversation we had in another podcast recording, where the infrastructure isn't quite there yet for EVs to be something that people can adopt. And obviously, I didn't read the whole article, but it stands to reason that, trying to start this from scratch and then putting a price on that for people that obviously don't have the means to pay for certain technologies as it is. I mean, everything is being sourced, hopefully, as the article shows, from Mexico, but I don't know how that's gonna equate
affect
to the
bottom.
equate to how much it's gonna it's going to cost to the person that's buying it. It might be a good price for them. It might not even, it might not even be on their scale of viability, right? And this is one of the reasons why infrastructure is so important, because you can have the latest and greatest, and we see it in a lot of industries, like the video game industry. You can have a power, like the Dreamcast, right? The Sega Dreamcast was one of the most technological advancements in gaming
in its generation,
right? But the games kind of not, they kind of suck.
Another saying is that amateurs speak about plans, but pros speak about logistics to complete those plans. So there has to be a full package, like you're saying. It's not just the car is awesome. What about the infrastructure? You said, is there support for it? Hopefully, me being a hopeful thinker, is that they're promoting out of the wazoo the car, but best bet there's other teams already working, setting up electric stations and all those things.
Right. And I think this is a good step in the right direction, because obviously, we're thinking about it this way because we live in the US, where we're in a first world country where electric or EV vehicles are not only accessible, but you have plenty to choose from, and the infrastructure is getting to the point where it's a more viable option, where if you don't want to use it or buy a gasoline car, you can probably, with a lot of,
especially with these prices of gas.
Right, no, of course. And the process of you buying one, you might have to get a loan to purchase this car, right?
It's a fact.
Right. So, because not everybody, obviously, in the middle classes are gonna want to buy a Tesla outright, or a Toyota, or a Honda, or a Nissan,
a Chevy Volt,
or a Chevy, or whatever other car manufacturer are coming out with their EVs. But look,
base starting line is like $650,000, or basically.
Right. Well, and think about it, over there in Mexico, infrastructure, if we're seeing that gasoline is essentially part of the infrastructure of the US, I can only imagine countries where that is the only option. There is no such thing as, having infrastructure for EVs quite yet. It's great. It's
I like the
Yeah, because that's exactly what's happening. Introducing this type of technology is great, but now figuring out how to not only mesh it with the corresponding or the infrastructure that's already set, and it could possibly take it over at some point, but you can't expect things to change overnight. Plus, the price point of how these cars are going to get manufactured, how are they going to be priced for the common person, right? We want people to switch over to EV.
Incentivize. What are the incentives?
Right.
I don't know if you've ever seen these in Mexico, but there's a bad stigma that a lot of people would just, put little wires and, yoink the electricity from the street. And there were always some incidents of people killing themselves by accident because of wrong wiring. Those, in Spanish, they're called diablos, that you hook up some wires onto the generators or to the hanging ones up top. And people would climb those poles and boom, put in their cable. And get their house there. And granted, it's not a big house, they're not getting Wi-Fi or anything, they're just having like electricity to turn on one light bulb in their house, or watch the TV, and that's it. The good thing over there in Mexico is, in some areas, you don't have to worry about sustaining winter, like lower freezing temperatures. It still gets cold, don't underestimate me that, but the electrical system is kind of mature, but there's a lot of people that like to work around. It's part of the culture to try to find the workaround, if you will, with your own two hands. And sometimes it's not like you bribe someone. That's like number two. Number one is, if you can do it with your own hands, do it.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily culture. I think it's a bad habit that people have. Yeah. I wouldn't call it part of the culture. I would more than anything else call it a bad habit that people have. And and this is like the polemic, right? We understand this to be true because obviously it's been a long time where corruption has been
La mordida.
present.
Being hungry, people are hungry.
Hunger is real, and sometimes people are going to have to do what they can to be able to survive. And if that means, to your point, stealing electricity, because that's what we have to call it what it is, right? They can give it a nickname, and no matter how cute.
Even stealing gas. There was an explosion in not in our hometown, in one of the towns from Puebla to our hometown, because people were yoinking gas from the line, and it blew up on them.
So again, these are the things that make headline news, right? And it's unfortunate.
What's the root cause, though? They were stealing.
They were stealing. I mean, whatever starts wrong ends wrong, right? You can't expect two wrongs to make a right. And unfortunately, right, we have to figure out how to rehabilitate people in order for them to not be stuck in that bad habit of stealing, because obviously the hunger is real. So this is a great way, like putting people to work and giving them incentives for them to actually work towards an actual future. So they don't have to be put in that headspace or that position or situation for them thinking that it's acceptable or it's the only way they know or should know how to get by, because stealing isn't the answer, right? Because then there's no growth, and then you just
grind day by day.
Yeah, and then you have that generational bad habit where it's like, well, my great grandfather stole, my grandfather stole, my dad stole, and now I steal.
I'm here, I'm still alive. I'm here, right? Thanks to them stealing.
And the thing, it's like, yeah, exactly. So they see as like it's the way of life, and it's not part of the culture. It's just they were placed in that situation, and not to say that there's people that even if they're well off, they don't steal. Obviously, people steal to steal sometimes.
Everywhere
right?
in the world, people steal, but
exactly.
Yeah, this is the first-hand experience that we have in that country.
And again, unfortunately, right, we're looking at it from the outside in because we don't live there on a daily basis. We've visited there, or we live there for a short time, or in
even
your
me
case,
living there for like 7 years.
Right. You had a first-hand example of how things can go from bad to worse in a lot of situations.
Just as an example,
right?
Going to school, those kids were even like that education system. They're smart. Okay, out compared to the U.S., I've already touted this a bunch of times in the podcast, but I'll continue to tout it. Every single one of those kids we've been learning like high school stuff when I was in high school, in middle school. Like it's a default. You gotta know chemistry, like everything that I learned in high school. I didn't learn anything new in high school. I just learned how to properly say better words, in prim and proper, and maybe socialize a little bit better. But in middle school, it was a competition, and it was fun. It was fun. You like the competition, and the thing that you have over here is the discipline. Like over there, you do it fast, you get it done quick, and the ends justify the means, if you will. Nobody catches you, aka getting yourself being slick. You're done. Have a nice day. But you did it with your own two hands, and then but that drive, because they have that situation. Imagine if they have the proper, not incentive, because that's what they have. They're hungry. They have the incentive.
Right.
If they have the proper path, I want to say, I don't know how to explain that.
Well, I look at it where if they have the means to actually pay for that schooling, because
I went to public. This is all in public,
right? But you still pay for it. You still pay for your schooling. It's very different from over here where it's state. Run. Yeah. Get what I'm saying?
As a rough calculation I made, how much the country just spent on me as a citizen, as a youngling, it was calculated that each country, just the U.S. on their students, roughly spend $10 million from birth to high school, minimum of $10 million, and then it goes up if you go to private school, if your parents, send you to other kinds of education systems, but the baseline is 10 million. I'm like, what the heck?
Right. So, and again, that is something very different from other countries where a school is state sponsored and you basically from K to 12, you are basically going to a state institution where you're being taught a curriculum that was basically made by, a handful of selected people, and the updates are kind of slow. And,
over here, over there.
Over here.
And then that's pretty cutthroat just to make any changes. It's
cutthroat.
They fight change.
I would say it's cutthroat as far as like,
and bureaucratic.
Yeah, there you go. As far as like people trying to make changes because the schools they have a system in place, or more than anything, they have a union in place that basically it doesn't want change. They want to be the people that are in control, and they're always fighting for control. Where over there, it's a lot different because you pay for your schooling, right? So from the outfit that you wear to the books that you use,
uniform,
to the food that you eat, and even to a certain extent the school that you attend, right? You pick the school. If you're gonna pay for your schooling, it's basically what teacher, the principal, and everybody in between are getting paid. That's coming out of your pocket directly, right? So it's a lot different. It's a lot different structure. It's a lot differently structured than what you have here in the US. Now, this is one of the reasons why on a basic level, math and language arts and things of that nature,
social studies,
right, are taught in such a way that people actually learn it, because there is no real, I want to say, state sponsored curriculum over here. It's like they're going to teach you math, not with like Sally went to the store that's 3 kilometers away. She took her bike pedaling at a 5 mile per hour. Like, they don't do those things. They're like,
no, they go for math.
They go for math. They're not going to give you a story. They're strictly there to teach you what you need to learn, and that is a benefit, because then you get to learn what you need to learn. So,
an example. Can I give an example? One time, the math teacher, was also the principal, right, of the school, and this rule of principalship was changed on a yearly basis. I think all the teachers were made a vote, and one of those teachers not only was a teacher but also became the principal. And every year there was voting, but the year that I went to this middle school, my math teacher was the principal. He came in and he's like, okay, today I'm going to teach you math, right? Me, first year. There's middle school is divided in 3 years over there: first, second, and third. So you're going into middle school, and I started over there in halfway through fourth grade, or halfway through fifth grade, I think, and finished fifth grade over there, and then went through sixth grade, and then went to first year of middle school. Right. So in middle school, first year, we're gonna do math, all those things, math. Okay. Oh, this is a new thing. First year of middle school, we're gonna do Pythagorean theorem. So hey, let me bring a second year as a teacher, as an instructor. Let me give her a test evaluating her. Let's see how she teaches you, and ask everyone questions. Okay, her name was Bonnie, right? Her name is her nickname was Bonnie, right?
Okay.
Or Bunny, if you will, in English.
Bunny, you say?
Yeah. And she came in. Okay. I forgot her name, but her nickname, Bunny. Bonnie. Can you please give an example of Pythagorean theorem? Okay, sure. She did the math and all those things. She gave the triangle, the right angle, all those things, right?
Okay.
And what is it? Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus all those things, right? And she's like, yes, yes. And any questions? Everyone in the class asked, and she, I imagine in her head she just cussed like, fuck. Okay, let's go. Ask me. And everyone was asking her, okay, what's this? What's that? Like, and my head was spinning like, what the heck, man? And no stories, no Fs, no workarounds, full on numbers. This is the numbers right here, right there. Like, you gotta know it: up, down, left, right, in, out, like a cube. There you go. Have a nice day.
Right.
That was the New Yorker style on the streets, but they were giving to you in class.
Yeah, no, and those are the simple differences that I've noticed.
We see that on the streets here in New York, though, and they don't teach it on the schools.
Well, I think it's very different as well, because
it's not.
Well, when I say like the basics, it's like I would say the basics are those essential things like math, history, language. What's another one that we usually go through? Right, like geography, social studies, and stuff like that. Yes. Some sort of science, right? Some sort of science, physics. Whether it be biology or chemistry or something of that nature.
Mm-hmm. And there were no extracurricular like you being in honors class. 10, you're 100. You're 100 for a reason. Have a nice day.
Right, unless extracurriculars were like some sort of sport that you did.
Yeah.
That might be, or even like a vocational type of school that you would do on the side.
But you know what I mean over here, that everyone, look at this. This is the honor class, the honor group. And like the names are on this board, the honor. No,
right.
You don't do that pageantry over there. You get an A. You're an A for a reason. Have a nice day.
Right. That's the reason why I say it's a lot more cut and dry over there. Where over here, it's like
everyone wants to.
Yeah, you have there's always levels to it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it muddles what little, I guess, organization, or not organization, more like essential, basics that you need to learn, right? So you have all these extracurriculars that
pageantry,
that maybe help you in the long run, maybe they don't, but again, this is where the basics basically are taught. And if you're a good student, because you can be a good student in a bad school, like you can be a good student in a good school, you're still a good student because you're willing to learn, you're willing to look for the information and study, right? No one's pushing you. Where that comes into conflict is where maybe you don't have the right tools or the right teacher to show you or teach you, and now you're kind of put in between a rock and a hard place to try to figure out these type of things. Look for a teacher that might be able to show you or teach you, or materials to show you or teach you. And then once that situation is kind of like fixed, that might mean that you need to spend money on a tutor or something, or over here.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, like, we have a lot of special little classes, right? If you don't know the language, they put you in ESOL classes, right? Or if you don't know, if you're having trouble with certain classes like math, they'll have a lab for you, right? Or if you're struggling with science or English language arts, they'll have a lab for you to actually have an extra class of that whatever it is, that subject, so you can better.
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Yeah.
Like, I think you, your brother, Eggy, and myself, I think Eggy and I were the last generation of that style of schooling that you had. Because after me, my middle brother, Moy, had a different style of categorization. And then Misa is, I think, still another layer different.
Yeah. I know I definitely understand what you're talking about. It went from bad to worse.
Like math A to math. Remember those things? Math A, math B, and that was it, right? And they taught a lot of things in there. But then my brother Moy had his first year trigonometry, statistics, logistics, all those things, kind of subcategories as a course. You're in my head, obviously. You're wasting your time. You're gonna need to know this. Like, why are you padding it out? You need this punch. People aren't learning fast enough. Then they're not good. They're not investing the time to learn.
Right.
That's like they're even more. If I thought the course that I took back in 2000 when I graduated 2010 was easy or not like too padded, imagine everything else now.
Yeah, no, definitely, and that was one of the major issues that came out of I think the Bill Clinton administration No Child Left Behind Act that he
it probably did, right? It changed.
So yeah, it didn't help anyone. So people didn't feel like
fudge the numbers, if you will. Yeah,
no, so even if you failed, they didn't want you to miss out on not being with your friends in the next
sounds like a
grade.
numbers things for the money, though. If we're thinking cold and calculated, just the numbers.
Well, essentially what happened is that you basically graduated, or you gave a pass to everybody, even if they were illiterate.
They needed to learn
basics, right? So they didn't quite learn everything that they were supposed to, and they gave them a pass, and
the workforce suffers.
Of course, everything suffers after the fact. And unfortunately, those are the type of things that really affect, not maybe in like a year, but that's going to affect in the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30
so do you
years.
Think they did that to invest on the optics of No Child Left Behind? You remember the marketing for that, right? And then they're paying for it with the workforce not being up to snuff.
Well, yeah, because you basically see, and again, this all goes
speculation
back to right, and this all goes back to the type of situation we live in, where nowadays you might not be the brightest person as far as like book smarts, but if you're entertaining enough, or you have some sort of niche or some sort of knowledge that comes easy to you, or you're very into a certain type of situation, that you're able to maybe not eloquently put it into words, but you're able to kind of like explain it,
produce it. Yeah,
right. You can just record yourself with a smartphone and put it on YouTube, and voila, you are in business. You can basically monetize. Now we can do that, and you don't have to graduate. I mean, you pick any type of
university.
Right, and well, not even university. You can actually monetize it more than anything. You can learn quite a few things from it, but obviously, it's not like you're gonna get a doctorate from watching.
No.
Right,
yeah.
And then just like, and when I mean you can record it and not only teach but learn things from it, I'm talking about things that are like not out of the ordinary, right? Like
Khan Academy, an example.
Right, I'm talking about like vocational type of things, or even like hobby type of things, right? So if you want to learn how to use Photoshop, if you want to learn how to use a camera, if you want to learn how to cook, if you want to learn how to be a mechanic,
right here,
you're able to see certain things on YouTube where you can learn how to do certain things, and you don't need to go to school to learn these things. You want to learn how to produce music, right? Or you want to learn how to play an instrument.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Or music theory, like you can learn how to do play an instrument, right? You can share your thoughts about something, give your opinion.
A podcast?
You can right. Or you
learn
can
how
actually
to podcast.
Or you can actually review a certain product and
react to something.
Right, and people will pay you to do this, and you can monetize that, and you don't have to have a official title from any university to do that. Where if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, you want to be some sort of a STEM field, you kind of you should go to a university. You should, unless you're gonna go for those things, I would say go to the university. If you're not gonna get those type of degrees, STEM, lawyer, doctor, then don't go. You're better off saving that money, not putting yourself or your family.
That went to YouTube University.
That would be hilarious, but it wouldn't work.
Yeah,
because when you would have to take the bar exam, and when you fail it, because you probably will fail it, they're gonna be like, "Where'd you go to school to learn?" It's like, "Oh, YouTube." Yeah, that's not gonna cut the mustard right there. It's not cutting it. It's not.
Just my engineering books. I remember paying $300 to those things, and each year was different, right? And there was enough of a difference. I don't wanna dox myself, but I was in the Oval Office, sitting in the porcelain throne, and just reading the book, right, just to understand what's going on. And I turned that into a habit of whenever I get a chance early in the morning, go like my newspaper, read my engineering book. Okay, what's new, what's not new? Okay, I like this. Okay, good. And that was the technical stuff on engineering. Those books were different enough each year that, like, specifically the aeronautical one, and there was things coming in each year. The material sciences, the sciences, the STEM, they differed enough. Even though some people would say it was a scam, that 80 to 90% was on the arts degree side, not on the STEM side.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because, like, not for nothing, but like the arts are great and all, but not everyone is meant to be an artist. You can have that as a hobby. Like, I think that's great that you have a hobby of painting, if you have a hobby of making music, if you have a hobby of like opera singing, if you have a hobby of cooking, you have a hobby of any planting, or flower decorations. That's great.
Balloon decorations.
Like, that's great. If you can monetize it in some way, shape, or form, amazing. Great. Good for you. You're able to be dedicated and have some sort of... Yeah, no, but more than anything, have that discipline to actually go out and do something with your
time?
No, with your hobby. There you go. But more than anything else, when you go for STEM, when you go for being a doctor, a lawyer, those are the type of professions where you are put in a situation where you should study, go to university, and if it costs money, it's going to cost money, but obviously you would hope that profession is going to pay for itself faster than something that it essentially is a vocational type of or a hobby type of profession, or not even profession, or it might be just a job or a hobby.
Question: how do you think that art universities then got their university degree, certificate? How did that happen?
That's a good question. I have no clue. All I know is that it gets to a point where, especially with the modern type of art, like, it's all subjective, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what do you feel when you see this type? Like, if you feel like it
yeah, and you see that little circle of colors, like that. I don't know what they mean by that. Like, what? You know what I mean by that color thing that they have, like a board of colors. This is the color wheel. The color wheel.
Oh, I see.
Like, there's a whole class on the color wheel, or there's a whole class on the blue spectrum.
Right. I mean, again, those are the type of things that I would say that to me is a hobby. Like, it's great that you're able to do that, and if you're good at it, great. If you're able to monetize on it, even
you're
better.
Smart.
Right, of course. But I think that one of the reasons why the US lacks, I guess, not anything artsy, it's lacking more of STEM. It's like, we have a big population. It should be that more people get into STEM, but unfortunately that's not the case, and we're going to see in the next few years how that's going to actually be a hindrance for the country, where
look at the people that want to be YouTubers as a kids. They saw that on YouTube. They're like the second generation that observing the first generation of, like, the 2002s, the 2003s, like not Jacksepticeye, the other guy, the PewDiePie. He was a college student that he said, like, you know what, I don't like the grind. He was studying STEM, I think, in Switzerland, and he said he was paying for his university, and he was working in a hot dog shop, I think, and he saved enough. He's like, should I pay for another year of university, or should I do what I like and play video games? Literally, you know what I mean? Like, it was a gamble, and
right. And it has a lot to do with his personality, because it's like,
there you go.
because look, you can have the hobby of wanting to play video games. A lot of people have that, but it's
a big market.
Not everybody is going to have that cachet of personality and hot takes that he has, or what people like him or know him for.
Or in the right time at the right place on the internet.
Exactly. To monetize off of that pipe dream, because that's what it really is.
His Konoha village?
Yeah, basically, because look, who's to say that anybody's gonna watch something and say, you know what?
On what? He wasn't doing it on a website. He found out of you. He found out because it was a baby platform.
He's gonna say, or people are gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna invest my time and money on this person so I can be entertained or whatnot.
Entertained, right? So, yes.
These are the things that people are kind of like looking and scouring YouTube for, right? And not everybody's gonna be able to do or replicate what PewDiePie or
Lightning in the Bottle,
or anybody else that are considered, like, I guess you can say, YouTube famous. They're not gonna be able to replicate that. Not in as far as like, okay, maybe they have something similar, but it's not gonna be the same. And I would say, again, if you're able to monetize on it, great. But if you're not, you should kind of like have a plan A and let your hobby be a plan B, but don't make your plan B or your hobby your plan A without even trying your plan A first, right? Not to say that, you can do both at the same time, which would be awesome, because then you put yourself in a situation where you can double dip.
Yeah. Right. That's the word of the day, double dip.
Right. And
double dip to victory. That's the title right there.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. I like it.
Okay. And I would say, like, okay, if you are the type of person that says, well, Alan, I don't think you're right. I think that people should pursue their passion. Okay, pursue your passion, but then don't look for handouts when unfortunately your passion doesn't quite pan out the way you thought it was, right? And that's what happens a lot of the times.
Yeah.
You're and it kind of reminds me of what Reggie Casual was saying in his video about fashion, where it's so much ego sometimes people have, where you only design your clothes or your shirt or your logo, and then you kind of have that chip on your shoulder where you're like, hey, I made it, so you should love it. When in reality, it's like, if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. That's not up to you, right? So you get out of your ego and make something
your high horse.
Yeah, make something that's dope, and be not only considerate, but be how can I put it? Be intentional with what you're doing in order for people to actually, mess with it. That would probably be the best way of going about it, but don't assume that people are going to just love it because you made it. Okay. If that were the case, then everybody should love everyone.
You?
Right, exactly.
Who are you?
So that's what I kind of think, as far as like with the not the STEM field, doctor and lawyer type of fields that people usually tend to gravitate towards. And again, for that person that thinks that, okay, doing a hobby might be something they want to do, try it out. See if you can be the type of person that keeps a schedule, is,
rising and grinding.
Right. And if you can keep up with that demand, it's not a 9 to 5. It's a from when I wake up to when I go to bed type of grind.
Right here. Over here.
It's difficult. It's not easy. But if
it's on a certain path, you got to put in the extra effort.
And if you think that you're going to be the type of person that keeps yourself accountable, then I would say, okay, maybe you have something there. But if you're going to do it for like a couple of weeks and say, I give up, I don't want to do it anymore, it's too hard, or I'll do it when I can.
It is hard. It is hard.
It's supposed to be hard.
Nothing easy, nothing worth having is easy.
Exactly. And this is the reason why I say sometimes the hobby route or your passion, it's like, it's great. Okay, you have a passion. That doesn't equate to much when you don't want to follow through.
Mm-hmm.
And if you
follow through, I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Or when you half-ass it, you're going to get half-ass results.
Yeah.
Just as simple as that.
Yeah. Whatchamacallit, going back to the Mexico thing. So hopefully this entire endeavor isn't half-assed,
Right, exactly. And just to end with this segment, it's like, unfortunately, because in Mexico a lot of people aren't in the same, I guess you can say, tax bracket as other people, that have a little bit more money. It's tougher after you graduate high school to try to get to a university, because there not only do you have to have really good grades, but you have to have money to actually go to school there.
You can be a genius, but if you don't got money,
and there's very compared to the US, there's a bigger limitation on someone sponsoring you or you getting some sort of scholarship.
A loan even. There's no thing as loan over there.
It's very difficult. If there is, it's few and far between. Like
you heard my dad's story, right?
No, I haven't, but I what's it called? I know for a fact that over there universities are great and all, but like in many things, the university outside, for whatever reason, right? Unless you're going to university in like places like London or something like that, or even maybe France or whatnot. Going to university outside the US it's very difficult for you to get your degree authorized or kind of like evaluated by the US and say, okay, you were a lawyer, you were a doctor over there, well, now you can be a doctor here. Like, you have to kind of
pass the bar or something equivalent, right?
Right, to actually practice what you were doing over in your country. So that is a setback for a lot of people where, unfortunately, I mean, there's people that have worked in the industry that isn't their forte because they weren't able to work in the industry they had previously studied and graduated from their country. So just think about a lawyer being a dishwasher at a restaurant because, they're not able to practice because they don't have the proper paperwork or whatnot. And that's unfortunate. So it's a lot different. And I think that there's a lot of changes that different countries could be making in order for them to be more competitive, which would be nice. It's like not just the artsy fartsy things are great, but I think STEM is something that people should look into, not only in this country, but in other countries as well, in order for there to be some sort of growth. And that's what I would highly encourage people to do. And if you have a passion, awesome, great. If you can monetize that, follow through. That's great.
Nobody's stopping you to do your passion, but you're saying double dip, man, double dip.
I would definitely encourage.
Support your passion with the STEM.
Yeah. And if you're able to monetize more with that than what you went to college, then hey, now you have options. I would say now you have the option
because you got
pick
the
and
monetary
choose.
Support. Yeah.
Right. Because now you're able to have options and pick and choose. And that's always a good thing.
Yeah. Oh, and now to another one, to the electrical EV, the Volkswagen Buzz. With that buzz, let's go to the electric car buzz from Volkswagen. Have you heard about that?
I haven't. No.
You know what the VW bus, the Mexican Combi, remember in Mexico?
Yes.
That VW bus, they're making an electric version of that.
That's funny.
But they're making it just as big and all those things, and it's gonna be electric.
That's gonna be a wild thing to see.
Yeah, I'm excited to see those over here in 2023. Like, oh, look at the VW. I remember Mexico, they're still running the 70s one and the 60s one over there. They're using them, as you know, because they're small and big enough and small enough to run the roads over there on the roads without any issue.
Well, I think it's because of the accessibility as well, right? Because they had the what's it called, the assembly line down there.
They still do. Yep.
Yeah, so I imagine that's why
the infrastructure.
They got in. They were popular because it was accessible. Not to say that they weren't, great, vehicles or whatnot, but obviously once you start having that competition, like being that Volkswagen is a German car, right, or German manufactured car, you have cars coming in like Ford or like Chevrolet that are pickup trucks, right, that are very
Toyotas over there are infamous,
sought after, and when the Japanese manufacturing came through, like the Hondas, like the Nissans, like the Toyotas, right? And then now we have like that influx of like Korean cars and stuff like that. Hyundais, right?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. The Kias, right.
Now hopefully the Mexican electric car.
Well, that's great and all, but I don't know if you remember. I think Mexico was trying to make I don't know if it was like a single person or if it was like an actual group that they were trying to make the first Mexican supercar.
No way.
Yeah, I forgot. It was like a couple of years ago. Yeah, it was it had like the body of like, I want to say like maybe like a Lotus or a McLaren or something like that. But it was something that people were, and I think they actually had a demo that they were able to actually a prototype they were actually able to drive and whatnot. And I don't know if it ever picked off the ground or whatever, but it's nice and it's a great idea to try to get involved in those type of things, or at least that the country of Mexico and the people, the residents and the citizens of that country to actually, do things like that, because it's great. Get yourself involved in different type of industries and be competitive on the world stage. That's awesome. And I would suggest that to any country for that matter, whether you're in Central America, South America, whatever continent you live on, like in whatever country, if you're able to do that,
industry,
make yourself not only what's it called, make yourself indispensable, or make yourself more than anything else like competitive, because you're going to be able to fetch a bigger price when you start going to job interviews, or you start getting some sort of contract going on with a company. That's always a good look. But yeah, that's something that I remembered besides the EV stuff. So Marcus, you want to move it to the last part?
Let's go for it.
What do you want to end on? What topic do you want to end on?
Let's go for food and anime at the same time. Hold up, let me put it in.
Okay.
Let's see. Here we go now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the anime segment.
It's anime, y'all.
Yes.
With a touch of food.
Yes.
I can't believe they didn't do this earlier. They've done it with ice cream. They've done it with different things, with cakes, with Demon Slayer. But now there's
delicious fruits, you say?
Brought to you by One Piece. Yeah. Oh, wait, huh?
I was confused. I apologize.
Hey, I can't wait for that collaboration. Fruit of the Loom, brought to you by One Piece.
And Jordan.
Yes. Oh, get some help.
Please, get some help.
But then, yeah, what do you think about that product line that they're trying to sell, the fruits versions from One Piece?
Yeah, I thought it was like bubblegum, no? Or am I mistaken?
I think it is. Let me collaborate with that. Let me elaborate. Let's see. Here it is. Let's see. Where it is? Here it is. Open up. If it's a video, it's not a video. Oof. It says this is Luffy. Okay. May or may not make your limbs stretch. Okay, I like that disclaimer. Okay, Luffy absolutely will be a dessert you'll never forget.
Bro, so it's a dessert. It's cake.
I like cake. Do you like cakes?
All the time. Well, I like cupcakes.
Okay. I wasn't talking that kind of cake. I'm just kidding. When it comes to answering the call to adventure, you could say that Monkey D. Luffy, protagonist of the anime One Piece. That should be the spin-off, One Piece.
That should be the Mexican version, right?
Yeah. I can't wait for the cosplayers.
No, but interestingly enough, bro, it's like, what was it? I think Cinco de Mayo fell on a what? Was it a Wednesday or Tuesday?
Yeah, Thursday, I think. What am I saying? Let me double check. Hold up.
Today's the 7th.
Calendar. Yeah.
Today's 7th. Yesterday was Thursday.
Thursday. It was a Thursday.
No, yesterday was the 6th, which was a Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean Friday, right?
Yeah, Friday was the 6th and Thursday was the 5th.
Right. So, not only was it Cinco de Mayo, it was also, and happy Cinco de Mayo, belated Cinco de Mayo to everybody, right? And, but also it was Luffy's birthday on the 5th.
Nice.
And it was also the quintessential quintuplet's birthday on the 5th.
Beautiful. Couldn't ask for better cake there.
And then also it was Children's Day in Japan on the 5th.
They need that. They really need that.
So a lot of things going on the 5th, right?
Yes.
And
that's why the law says I plead the 5th. Interesting. Of course, it has to be. So, on top of it being Cinco de Mayo, we also had Luffy's birthday, and I was able to find this article while basically looking into all the other stuff going on, and it leading up to the announcement of the new One Piece movie that features or is a focal point red-haired Shanks. And I think it's gonna be super dope. Obviously, the cake looks delicious, and like the article says, well, thank you.
it doesn't necessarily mean your arms and legs are gonna stretch, but you can definitely have a nice piece of cake. So, what'd you think about it, Marcos?
Couldn't ask for something better. Me thinking of an anime connoisseur, if you will, I would say, bring it, bring more. I can't get enough of this. More promotion. Let the food. That's both the thing that I love: food and anime, and everything in between. And
absolutely, yes.
And I can't ask for something better.
Very good, sir. Very good. Cupcakes and strawberries and chocolate.
What is it? Strawberry.
Ichigo, bro.
What? It's not strawberry?
Absolutely not. How dare you?
It's not strawberry. What's coffee?
Coffee.
What was the other one? What's chocolate? I think no.
No, it was. I forgot, bro.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, definitely. But I forgot what other ones they mentioned.
I think cake. What's cake?
Cakey, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay. And then what's strawberry? Is it strawberry?
No, it's Ichigo. You jerk.
Yup. Yeah, I can't wait until they get an entire. There's gonna be an entire line of this bet, not only this one.
Well, also I've been seeing people posting on the interwebs, cake in a cup, and they're selling it from a vending machine, which is crazy.
Hey, that is smart.
Hey, bro, if we were able to put something up over here where you can have like vending machines, like not sandwiches on every corner, but having these different types of vending machines, that would be awesome. That would be really dope. But
unfortunately, we're America. Best bet there's gonna be people like kicking them or tackling them.
Yeah. People are not the most.
Did you ever hear about FriendBot, the one that crossed from East Coast to West Coast on Canada without any issues, but in the US it didn't even make it out of Philly?
No, wow. I mean,
you know how they found him? They found him stabbed. They found him hit with a concussion. They found him. The way that he does it, it used GPS to follow the roads and give a thumb to see if they could give him a hike, right, so it can move faster.
Right.
And it had like a little speaker, pre-recorded speaker, like, I'm going this way. Do you think you can take me off this point? Sure, I could take you this far, and you could take him like as much far west that you could.
Sounds super dangerous.
It was just a little robot with a GPS signal, all those things, right? And once they noticed that it wasn't moving for 3 days, or I think 3 days, like the same thing when people go hiking. If you're lost for 72 hours, I think you don't report in.
Right, they do a search party for you or something like that.
Yeah, and this was a degree project for university students in Canada. They did it in Canada as a degree project. It made it without any issues from east to west. And then on the United States, it started. I think the problem was that they started in Philly.
Maybe, I mean, it is the city of brotherly love, though.
Brothers, just like brothers, rise up and beat the metal out of the pulse out of this bot.
Oh no.
And yeah, they found him, right? They found him stabbed 2 times. They found him hit with a bat, a concussion, like something like a bat with a blunt force trauma.
Crazy.
And then they found him stabbed again, like at least 4 more times.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough stuff, bro.
Life is hard for a bot.
It sure is.
But continue, sorry, like vending machines though.
Yeah, that would have been awesome if we can get something like that. There's all sorts of them, and it kind of also reminds me of like the automats from like back in the day.
The burger vending machine in Jersey.
Oh yeah, that too.
That's another one.
Yeah.
Best bet it's gonna be something like fast food, like hamburgers. That has to be American though. Hamburgers, pocket pizzas, pocket pizzas.
Pocket pizzas. Hot pockets, you mean?
That too. What else? Pancakes, something like that. Like in the vending machine service. You know how in Mexico they do that fast as well. Then they'd make you a pancake. Pocket pancake.
Really? They make pancakes over there like really quick?
Yeah, they make them pretty good. They didn't do Bisquick style like over here, but it was
you know what
yeah.
I'm sorry. You know what I've been like feeling to have?
Mm-hmm.
It would be like one of those like Japanese style pancakes, like super fluffy, like
the Japanese one in by our home street, right?
Like souffle.
Yeah, in the like wrapped up, right?
No. Those are crepes.
Oh, crepes. Sorry, that's a French thing.
Yeah, no, it's the store is like a Japanese styled crepes, but I'm talking about like pancakes. They're like souffle pancakes. They're very fluffy. I'm gonna have to show you some sort of image or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there are Japanese styled pancakes that they're like super fluffy. They're like I think they whip the whites of the eggs.
Whip, you say?
Yeah, in order for it to get that like that decadent kind of look to it, that very fluffy, airy, like cloud almost type of texture. Yes, sir. And yeah, that's something I kind of want to try.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But yeah, so would you go for a cake that's a fruit? And what would you want? Either a cake-sized fruit of those fruit powers from One Piece, or would you go like a M&M's or like a Gushers? What about Gushers fruit One Piece edition? How about that?
Dude, I don't even know. Like, I would probably like, being that there's a lot of these themed restaurants over there in JP, kind of makes me want to go to one, like the Jujutsu Kaisen Movie Zero,
the JoJo
Cafe.
one,
or the JoJo one, right? Or I'm pretty sure there's a One Piece one.
There has to be.
The SAO one,
the quintessential one.
Yes. All
that has
those
to be
are
the
dope.
name, the quintessential bar, or the quintessential diner.
Probably, I don't know. I don't think they do diners. I think it's more. That's
cafe,
more. Yeah, cafes are definitely their thing over there with like specialty drinks and specialty like food offerings that they do, which that would be awesome. I would definitely want to go to one of those. I think right now McDonald's has like an Ultraman burger.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's very interesting to go to different
like a
countries.
Five Guys burger?
I don't know. I like it's interesting going to other countries and seeing what
the Shake Shack one.
Yeah, like going to their like their McDonald's or Burger King or whatever, KFC, and seeing what they have as far as like differing food offerings that they serve for their communities and like the countries that they reside in. Where over here it's very plain Jane, right? It's very like
it's a staple, man. You can't mess up with something that's good already.
Nah, dude. Like I would.
I'm playing.
Like there's certain items that I would want them to like have over here that might be surprisingly delicious for a lot of people, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they don't try their hand at sharing some of that. Like even the sauces for like their chicken nuggets or the fries.
They're very rare over here. Yeah, they're very rare over here.
It's like the most we get. Like the most we get is probably like the like the BTS sauce and the
collaboration ones. Yeah,
and the thoughty sauce or whatever the case was from Popeyes or something.
What? What was that?
And,
can you repeat that?
I think you heard me. You heard me. And what else? It was
Szechuan.
like yes, and I think it was I think Shake Shack had like the bulgogi burger or something like that. Or, yes, thank you. Or it was the gochujang sauce that they had. But I mean, I digress. There's a couple of things that they might do, but it's not enough. It's not enough.
Yeah, I mean, like over here, the drinks they did have a lot of collaborations, like Pepsi Crystal, Coca-Cola Cherry. That's too simple. That's too basic.
Yeah, I mean,
special
and that's
editions.
just drinks. That's just drinks. I'm talking more about like the actual food
dishes.
Yeah, like over there they have like you know how they have the French fries in the pouch where you can put seasoning in it and just shake.
French fries in a pouch.
Yeah, like they'll give you your French fries and they have a pouch with special seasoning where you can season. Yeah, you can season the fries.
That's a logistics thing. Like
they had like black truffle sauce for your burger or for your fries or for dipping, which Wendy's, and I think there's
is truffles good in your opinion in flavor?
Well, it depends. I mean, if you're a truffle type of person, yeah, if you don't like truffle, then nah. Okay. I personally like it. It's really a hit or miss depending on your palate. You might hear truffle and your mind automatically says, "Ooh, fancy," but then you try it and you're like, "Ooh, why does it taste not so good?"
Yeah, like this tastes like dirt or something like that.
Right, exactly. There's a lot of people that don't like uni, so like sea urchin.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And a lot of people don't like the taste of it, but it's a very refined type of taste. I mean, again, not everybody's gonna like it. I understand. It tastes like the sea, like exploded in your mouth. Okay, I get it. And
not everyone eats pufferfish either.
Right, but even when it's prepared, it's like you get such thin slices of the pufferfish, of these like poisonous fish, that you barely have any taste to it. So it's very bland.
And then you could die from it.
Yeah, and then
imagine dying from the blandest flavor in the world. Like, oh,
right. It's like unfortunately, it's like that's a secondary effect if they don't prepare it correctly, right? Other than that, bro, like I remember Wendy's. It was Wendy's first kitchen over there. So
were there Wendy's cosplayers?
No, but the maid cafes over there had plenty
of. They make up for it.
Yeah, but it's like you want to go for a $20 at that time $20 bento set that was subpar at best.
Now it could be like 40? Like yeah, I mean 40, $50.
Well, I don't know. I mean, no, $20, like 20 USD.
Oh,
it was roughly.
I thought it was. Oh man, sorry,
yeah.
200.
And it's like the real draw there is like if you wanted to go see girls in maid costumes, or there was a particular person or maid that you wanted to go see, then you get
your main form of nutrition visually,
Right. And again, it's like if you want to go to that, like maybe going once just to say that you went is awesome, but it's a go there continuously because you think the food is great. Like, you can go to other places, get a better food. That's all I'm saying. Maybe not for less, but maybe that's comparable for that price.
And even over here, there was a maid cafe right in New York City.
I remember going to that one. It was in what's it called?
Canarsie?
It was in it was like
Canal
around
Street?
Canal Street. Yeah,
There you go, Canarsie. That's in
Canarsie.
Brooklyn, I think, isn't it?
Good lord, like right next to Dembo.
Oh. But yeah, how was that one? Was it okay? Expensive?
It was interesting. It was
Pictures,
compared
pictures?
to over there. I might have a picture.
I like how
I might share.
I feel like you're grabbing your chin.
I might share with you guys. Yes. I have to, look for it, but yeah, I can have
You're
something
looking
like
around.
that.
You always have your katana next to you in your bed,
Yes, I am.
Have you named it yet?
I am slowly unsheathing my katana.
Okay, you can put your belt on. Okay, you don't need to unsheath your sword.
Yes, but it's necessary. No, I don't
yet.
name.
Not yet. You're patenting.
Yes, I'm using the stone to sharpen it. Yes.
Okay.
No, but I haven't named it.
Why not?
I don't know. I've never really thought about it.
Why not name it Sue, like something like or these hands?
I'm gonna call it Hamtaro.
Okay, yeah. Or Godzilla. But yeah, I'm excited going back to the fruits. I'm not getting fruity with it. Let's go to the fruits though with the One Piece though. You ready? You ready? And
Yes.
you can't buy those here in the US, can you?
No, I don't think you can.
Dang it.
Yeah,
Missed opportunity.
I know. And Golden Week was this week in Japan, so a lot of good times. Basically, vacation or off time for a lot of people, where people get to go out and about, shop, and spend time with the fam or with friends or whoever. So yeah, I remember being there for Golden Week, and it was pretty awesome, bro. I mean, going to like the parks that they have a bunch of parks over there. I'm talking about a bunch of parks. It's like they're all scattered around Tokyo. And
with a lot of vending machines, probably.
no, actually, it's very, not that it's secluded, but it's really nice because, like, I don't know if you've been to Central Park, but for those that haven't gone to Central Park, it's really nice. It's like it's literally a park in the middle of
you were talking
one
in
of
Japan.
the biggest cities. Well, over there, think about like Central Park, but like little segments of Central Park scattered around Japan, and there's some parks that are obviously bigger than others, but it's really nice because you get that little escape from the big city, going to the park and just chilling, hanging out.
Hang with the statue of Balto by the zoo.
No, nothing like that. I mean, I didn't see anything like that, but they have really like cool little places to go, and when you step outside of the park and you go back into the city, it's like you're met with like shops or restaurants or ramen shops and stuff like that. Not everywhere, no. But if you go to certain places, yeah, you can probably see something like that. And a lot of these people have like really different fashion senses than people that you commonly see over here. So in the States, so it's interesting to see people dressed up a little more different, or a lot more different sometimes.
Okay.
You okay there, sir?
Yeah, I'm okay. I was just like thinking, like, oh my god.
Yes.
What were some things for my earbuds that fell off?
Oh, I see.
I got it.
I think one of the best things while I was there was the weather, because it was springtime.
Yeah.
That's probably the best time I would recommend people to like go visit is springtime. It's not too hot, not too cold.
It's getting there though.
And because it's like really walking friendly over in Tokyo, I would say it's like one of the best times to be out and about over there. Just walk around, do your thing, go shopping, go eating, have fun, visit. Yeah, I mean, once it opens, I highly encourage people to go. Other than that, bro, like, I want to say, like, I remember a lot of the shops over there, especially for like the anime figure shops. Like you had like wall to wall, like glass cases of people having like they rent little spots out to resell their figures.
Resell?
Yeah, like say you buy a couple of figures and you're like, I want to sell my figure. I want to get rid of it because either I don't want it anymore, I don't like it, or whatever the case is.
Yeah, whatever.
Or you need the cash, right? So they'll go to one of the stores and the store basically sells it on their behalf. I'm pretty sure they get some sort of kickback for being, the middleman.
No doubt.
So yeah, there's a lot of stores like that are secondhand stores for figures, and they're pre-loved figures basically, which is
Best
pretty
bet
dope.
Evangelion's gonna be there. Rem's gonna be there. No. People would never leave their Rems.
Dude, the amount of figures people are reselling in secondhand shops is crazy. Bananas, bro. Bananas.
In this economy, probably.
Well, right now I wouldn't know, but I'm pretty sure there's quite a hefty amount.
And you can't leave the country that efficiently. I would have happily.
It's really difficult because like a lot of people like using EMS to get their stuff, but right now I think you got a better bet using DHL. So, and sometimes it might be more expensive, sometimes it might be less expensive. It really depends on the item that you're trying to buy and ship to you. So yeah, definitely something to look out for.
Yeah, and with that outgoing shipment, what do you say if we call it a night?
Definitely, bro. Sounds good to me.
Thank you, Alan, for coming into another episode of...
Well, thank you, Mr. Marcos. Yes.
Another episode of...
Another one.
There you go. Thank you. But yeah, listeners, remember, these are some out of office episodes. And yeah, like hopefully Mr. J will come back. Right now he's in the study, so don't knock him because he's doing his masters. Let's respect the grind.
And hopefully we'll have a guest on our next recording as well.
Fingers crossed.
Yes. Also, don't forget to get at us at our social media profiles. So Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all the other good stuff. Spotify. Definitely take the polls or,
firmly grasp them.
Yes. And with that being said and done, guys, we will catch you on the next one. Peace.
This is Marcos. Bye-bye now.